Judge.
Oh, Mr. Van Rans, just hold up a second.
I just asked if he's going to agree that these were closed and they're open to take pictures, and he's not going to agree to
I
that.
just don't know, Judge.
They
He's
don't-
asking me
yeah.
something I don't know the answer to, because I thought the stipulation meant I didn't have to
Then
have it.
cross-examine, I mean, it's the fodder for cross-examination. Thank you.
All right.
Bring the jury in. Please be seated. Mr. Kaiser, your continued direct, please.
Thank you, Your Honor, I appreciate that. Sergeant Hart, I believe we were on Exhibit 73, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And just so we can all collectively understand your role there that day, what role did you have in the collecting and securing of the physical evidence at the scene?
I was stationed in the garage, and
Sergeant, excuse me for 1 second, I apologize. Thank you. If you're looking at the jury, which is fine, but then the mic has to be in front of your face.
Got it.
Thank you.
Is this better?
That's better, thank you.
I was logging in all the evidence, and I was stationed in the garage.
So, in Exhibit 73, what was it that you saw yourself personally?
This is an under-bed storage area
All right.
from the master bedroom.
And when you initially walked through, was that closet door closed?
I believe we'll see the crime lab video where it is closed.
Okay. And what was secured out of that closet area under the bed?
We seized the item in the black and red Craftsman bag.
All right. Move to admit and publish Exhibit 73.
No objection.
Received, granted.
Thank you. Showing what's been marked as Exhibit 74 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes. This is a High-Point Luger 9mm handgun that was inside that red and black bag.
And is Exhibit 74 truly and accurately depict the pistol that you just described?
Yes.
And it's one that you were responsible for logging in, right?
Correct.
And was it brought to you in that red and black bag with the case that came with it?
We did not seize the red and black bag.
All right. But it had been in the red and black bag?
Correct.
All right. Move and ask to publish Exhibit 74.
Any objection?
No objection.
Received, granted.
What's the pistol laying on?
A soft-sided case.
When you received it to log it in, were either one of the magazines in the handle of the pistol?
No.
Thank you. Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 76 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes.
What?
That is, excuse me, an under the bed drawer on closest to the nightstand on the south side of the bed,
And if one were looking at the bed, on the left side or the right side?
the left side.
All right. So, and again, you've reviewed the crime lab video. Were you aware, based on that and your walkthrough, that that drawer was closed when you first entered the home?
It was closed.
All right. And what, if anything, was recovered that's marked with the placard D in Exhibit 76?
The item that was recovered from that drawer was a Caltech 380 pistol.
And Exhibit 76 truly and accurately depicts where that pistol was recovered from, correct?
Correct.
Move Exhibit 76 into evidence.
No objection.
Received,
Ask to publish.
granted.
What's to the immediate, I'll do it with the leading question. Is there a similar color to the bed, tannish brown color nightstand on the left side of the bed as one looks at the bed?
There is.
All right. In any event, during the walkthrough, both of those drawers were closed, is that right?
Correct.
Thank you. Showing what's been marked as Exhibit 78 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this is the nightstand on the other side of the bed, or the right side of the bed as you're looking at the bed.
And it's a black colored nightstand?
Yes,
And when you did your walkthrough and in the crime lab video, that drawer of the nightstand was closed?
yes.
What was in the drawer?
That was a .38 special revolver.
I'm sorry, a 38.
A .38 special revolver.
Does Exhibit 78 truly and accurately show where that gun was?
Yes,
And there's a holster there, is that right?
yes,
And just beyond the placard E, one could see the handle of the pistol?
yes.
Move and ask to publish Exhibit 78.
No objection.
Received, granted.
So, looking at Exhibit 78, what's to the left of the E? That's part of the gun system?
That's the leather-like holster
All
that
right.
it's in. You can see the handle of the revolver right behind the letter E.
Thank you. Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 80 for identification. Could you tell us if you recognize what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, that's the same nightstand.
And in this photograph, the marker G marks what?
There's a plastic case underneath that wooden box.
What was in the plastic case?
A Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun.
Does Exhibit 80 truly and accurately show where that Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun was kept?
Yes,
Oh, and I forgot to ask, since we have this picture up, well, move to admit Exhibit 80 and ask to publish, and then I'll ask a couple more questions.
No objection.
Received, granted.
Looking at the drawer in the bottom of the black nightstand on the right side of the bed in Exhibit 80, was that drawer closed during the walkthrough and when the crime lab video was taken?
yes.
And where the G is marking, it's marking what on that sort of shelf on the nightstand?
It's marking the case underneath the wooden box.
And what color is the case?
It looks kind of green, but I think it was black. It's a dark colored case.
Okay. So the Smith & Wesson 9mm, it's a handgun?
Yes,
All right. And that was kept in, sorry. When it was recovered, it was in that case?
correct.
All right. Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 82 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this is a photograph with our sheriff's office evidence marker F as in Frank. And it's of 3 long guns that were recovered from the office area of the upstairs across from the master bedroom.
So if one's walking down the hall on the upper level of this 2-level home, of the 2 rooms, what you've called the office and what appears to be a bedroom, because it's got a bed in it, which is on which side of the hallway?
Object, Your Honor, of this lawyer testifying.
Thank you.
Just,
Avoid the leading Mr. Kaiser question.
Which room's on which side when you walk down the hall?
The master bedroom is on the left side or the west side of the house, and the office area is on the right side.
Does Exhibit 82 truly and accurately show the rifles and cases that were recovered?
It does.
Move to admit and publish Exhibit 82.
Your Honor, may I ask one question?
Yes.
When these guns were seized, were they all in the bags?
The 30-06 was in the hard-sided case, and the Remington 870 and the Winchester 22 were propped up in the closet, and the cases were also in the closet. Those long guns weren't in those respective cases.
Okay, but there were a case for each gun?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I have
Thank
no
you,
objection.
Mr. Kaiser. Granted. Received and granted.
Thank you. On the left from center side of the photograph, exhibit 82, there appears to be maybe like a folding closet door?
Yes,
All right. And was it your understanding that all these rifles were found in that closet and the closet door was closed? If you don't remember if it was open?
I don't remember.
Thank you. Showing you what's been marked as exhibit 86 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this is a photograph of the kitchen and dining room facing east toward the sliding glass door.
Does it truly and accurately depict the scene as you saw it when you went there on the afternoon of Saturday, April 14th, 2018?
Yes.
Move exhibit 86 into evidence, asked to publish. Just briefly, Judge, I just have a couple questions. I promise I will take it down as soon as I'm done.
May I ask her a question?
One,
Who took this photograph?
if you know.
I believe it was either Investigator Demling or Investigator Carrie Rose.
Can you spell Carrie Rose's name for me?
Yes, Caryrose.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Received and granted.
Thank you. Sergeant, what's at the foot of the chair and table on the left side of the table that we're looking at, past Mr. Chase Fleischauer's body?
On the floor is a gray T-shirt.
Thank you. Take that. Showing what's been marked as exhibit 87 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes.
What is that a photograph of?
This is taken from the dining room, closer up of the gray T-shirt on the floor.
Does that truly and accurately depict the same T-shirt in the same position generally that we saw it in Exhibit 86?
Yes.
Moved for admission and to publish Exhibit 87.
No objection?
88, I believe it is, Mr. Kaiser.
Yes.
I apologize, 87, granted and received.
Thank you. Now, if you know, when was this scene preserved photographically?
I took this photograph on April 16th, 2018.
So that would have been Monday?
Correct.
All right. And I'm going to ask a couple questions about that, but I want to take the picture down. So
Okay.
my question to you is that gray T-shirt by the table in the chair the same one that you saw in the picture from the day you did the walkthrough on the 14th?
Yes.
All right. And what's on the chair to the left of the T-shirt?
That is a hooded sweatshirt that says Red's Savoy Pizza on it.
Can you take that down, please? What is Red's Savoy Pizza?
It's a East St. Paul pizza place.
Okay. Some of us don't know that, so that's why I asked. Monday, April 16th, what happened that day?
The sheriff's office had still been in custody of the residents, and the district attorney wanted to do a walkthrough of the kitchen and dining room area.
Who's the district attorney?
Mike Nieskes,
How do you spell his last name?
Nieskes.
Who'd you go there with?
It was myself, District Attorney Nieskes, and our evidence tech at the time, Deputy Sally Standard.
Anybody else?
No.
While you were walking through the scene with the district attorney, what, if any, decision did you make regarding the gray T-shirt?
I photographed it as we saw, and I opened it up and photographed it on the floor. And there was a few other items of evidence that I seized that day.
Showing what's been marked as Exhibit 88 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, I took this photograph of the T-shirt opened up on the kitchen floor.
Does that truly and accurately show what you saw when you photographed it?
Yes.
Move Exhibit 88 into evidence, asked to
No.
publish.
No objection.
Received, granted.
What's it say on the T-shirt?
It says, "You're killing me, Smalls, the Sandlot."
Do you recall whether or not by the time you decided to examine the gray T-shirt on the floor, you knew that that T-shirt was meaningful, what it said on it was meaningful to the investigation?
Yes.
How did you know?
Back to that, Your Honor. Call it
Sustained.
Conclusion, everything else in the book.
If you recall, what, if anything, had you seen prior to Monday, April 16th? In regards to this case, that might have caused you to want to know what's on that T-shirt?
Prior to Monday,
Yep.
nothing.
Without telling me what anyone said, had anyone said anything to you about possibly looking for such a T-shirt?
On Monday, yes.
When you opened up the T-shirt, what, if anything, did you think you saw on it?
It appeared to me as though there was blood on the T-shirt.
Showing what's been marked as Exhibit 89 for identification. Can you tell me what, if anything, that's a photograph of?
This is a close-up photo that I took that shows the "you're killing me" and part of the word Smalls.
Does it show the blood stains you thought you saw?
Yes.
Asked to admit and publish 89, please.
Any objection, Mr. Gray?
No, Your Honor.
Received, granted.
If one were to be wearing the T-shirt, would the red stains, blood stains that we see in Exhibit 89 be on the front?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 90 for identification. Can you tell me if you recognize what this is a photograph of, please?
Yes.
What?
I took this photograph close-up of the T-shirt on the floor, opened up.
And what part of the T-shirt is shown in Exhibit 90?
The back.
Move 90 into evidence, asked to publish.
No objection.
Received, granted.
Where did you see blood there?
I saw blood on the center back, also the upper back left, and the lower bottom right, and some in the maybe the right like flank area.
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 91 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes. This is a close-up photo that I took of the lower right portion of that T-shirt in the back,
And why'd you take that picture?
because it appeared to me to be blood.
Move 91 into evidence, asked to publish.
No objection.
Received, granted.
Showing you what's been marked Exhibit 92 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this is a photograph of the middle of the back side of the T-shirt.
What did you attempt to preserve in photographic way on that part of the shirt?
It appears to me as though there's blood on the upper center part extending to the upper left shoulder.
Move Exhibit 92 in evidence, asked to
No
publish.
objection.
Received, granted.
So this is looking at it from the back, so the left shoulder is on the left side, is that correct?
Correct.
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 93 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, that's a photograph of the upper left shoulder area.
Again, depicting the blood you thought you saw.
Yes.
Move 93 into evidence, asked to
No
publish.
objection. No objection.
Granted and received.
showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 94 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes.
What?
This is a photo of the kitchen floor area with Chase Fleischauer in the image.
And is that truly and accurately depict how the situation looked when you did your walkthrough?
Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor, was this photo taken in the walkthrough or 416?
Was this a photo you took, investigator?
It is not.
Thank you. Do you know who took the photo?
I believe it was Deputy Durand.
Thank you.
Move Exhibit 94 into evidence, and I'm not asking to publish right now.
Thank
No
you.
objection.
Received.
Judge, I believe Exhibit 39 has been received in evidence, so I'm going to ask to publish Exhibit 39 and Exhibit 94 together, which would be Exhibit 95. And this is,
So noted, granted.
thank you. Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 95 for identification. Could you tell us if you recognize what those photographs are?
Yes.
What?
Those are photographs both taken from the kitchen dining room area with Chase Fleischauer in the images.
Asked to publish, admit and publish 95.
As has been granted and received.
Thank you.
And here you go.
So as you said in response to Mr. Gray's question, the top photo, which is Exhibit 94, was taken during or at around the time of your walkthrough, and you were there with the crime lab. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. The bottom photograph, as you testified, and as we've learned already in the trial, was taken by Deputy Chase Durand, who was there literally within minutes of the call. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Could you tell us what's in the right side, nearly at the end of the photograph, in Exhibit 39, the bottom half of Exhibit 95?
Yes. I want to make a clarification that that top image wasn't, I don't believe was taken by the crime lab.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
I believe Deputy Durand or one of the first responders took that photo.
All right.
Or Investigator Rose or Investigator Demling. The crime lab did not take that photo, to the best of my knowledge.
So closer in time to the events than when the crime lab was there.
Yes, I mean, you can see the sliding glass door, and it appears to me that it's still dark outside.
Thank you. What's on the right side of the photograph closest to the chairs of the table on the floor?
In the bottom image,
Yes.
that is the gray T-shirt.
And that's the same gray T-shirt that you eventually recovered from that place it's in on the top photograph, Exhibit 94?
Yes.
I'm going to ask Detective Nicola to bring up Exhibit 96 for identification and ask you to tell us if you recognize what that object is.
This is the gray T-shirt that I recovered from the floor in the kitchen.
Move Exhibit 96 into evidence.
No objection.
Received. I gave it to him.
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 97 for identification. Could you tell us if you recognize what that's a photograph of, please?
I do.
What is it a photograph of?
This is a photograph of a pull-out garbage area where there is 2 trash receptacles, one of which has trash in it, and Crime Lab marker 20.
What is Crime Lab marker 20 marking? I'm
There-
sorry, what is Crime Lab marker 20 marking?
It's marking a paper towel with what appears to be blood on it.
Does that truly and accurately depict where that paper towel with blood on it was in-house?
Yes.
Move 97, asked to publish.
May I ask one question?
Mr. Gray?
Was this exhibit 20 open or shut?
It was closed.
Okay, so you opened it to take the picture?
I didn't take this picture, the Crime Lab did.
I know, but it was open to have the picture taken, correct?
I didn't open it. I would assume someone did.
Well, it's open in the picture.
It sure is.
And so for the Crime Lab to take the picture of it, it had to be open.
Yes.
All right.
So it was closed before he took the picture, correct?
It was closed in the Crime Lab video.
Thank you. Received. Publication granted.
Thank you. Sorry. Yes. If one were to be facing this trash receptacle and go to the left, what parts of the kitchen does one come to as one goes to the left?
Closest to the kitchen where the countertops and the trash, you can see the countertops to the left there.
Right, and then there's like the stove and the rest of it that way?
The sink, followed by the stove and the refrigerator.
And then what's to the right?
To the right, there's, looks like a recycling container with paper in it, and then the sliding glass door.
Showing, thank you. Showing what's been marked as Exhibit 99 for identification. Can you tell us what that object is, please?
Yes.
What's that?
This is the paper towel that we just saw in the image.
Move Exhibit 99 into evidence.
No objection.
Received.
Maybe just to make that other image more clear for us. Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 98 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this is a close-up photograph of Crime Lab marker 20 with the paper towel.
And does that show the blood that was seen there?
Yes.
Move Exhibit 98 as to publish.
No objection.
Granted. And received.
And where's the blood on the paper towel positioned in Exhibit 98?
On the paper towel?
Thank you. And is it pretty much in the center of the photograph?
Yes.
You can do that now, thank you. Showing you what's been marked as Exhibits 100 and 101. Do you recognize what those objects are?
Yes.
What are they?
These are the left and right socks from Chase Fleichauer.
Without opening them, do you note them to be in the same or substantially the same condition as when they were recovered?
Yes.
Move Exhibits 100 and 101 into evidence.
No objection.
Received.
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 102. Can you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this is a photograph from the kitchen looking southeast into the dining room.
Does it truly and accurately depict how the dining room table, chairs, the gray shirt, the red Savoy sweatshirt were all positioned as you went into the house on the afternoon of Saturday, April 14th of 2018?
Yes,
Move Exhibit 102 into evidence asked to publish.
May I ask one question?
Mr. Gray?
The box on the dining room table, was that there when you walked in?
yes,
You know what's in the box?
I don't.
No objection.
Thank you. Received.
In Exhibit 102, in the upper left-hand side of the photograph, we see what over the kitchen island?
The light fixture,
And how many light fixtures are there, or how many light bulbs are there?
3.
Then, over where the dining room table is, what is above where the dining room table is?
2 light fixtures,
Was the table, when you saw it as it is depicted in 102, positioned so that it would be underneath those 2 light fixtures? In other words, directly underneath it, square to the light fixtures?
no,
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 103 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
yes, this is a photograph standing on the south side of the dining room, facing east toward the dining room table and the sliding glass door.
So it was daylight out when the crime lab was taking the pictures?
Correct.
Move Exhibit 103 asked to publish.
No objection.
Received. Granted.
This is how it was when you saw it on April 14th.
Correct.
And in Exhibit 103, what is the position of the end of the table closest to us in relation to the wall on the right?
Object, Your Honor, that picture speaks for itself. That's why we have to have a description of it.
I didn't quite understand the question, Mr. Kaiser.
Still. When you were physically there that day, in 3 dimensions, not 2 dimensions like the picture, when you were there that day, would you have expected a person could pull the chair out closest to the wall and sit there?
No,
And again, does this photograph show us that the dining room table is not square underneath the 2 lamps in the dining area?
correct.
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 104 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this photograph was taken in the dining room looking south. The sliding glass door is on the left or the east side of the image.
Does it truly and accurately depict the scene you just described?
Yes,
Move Exhibit 104 into evidence.
No objection.
Received.
Asked to publish.
Granted.
What's hanging from the ceiling in about the middle of Exhibit 104?
a plant,
And what's on the floor below the plant in Exhibit 104?
3 dog bowls,
In Exhibit 104, what appears to be in the dog bowls?
foliage from the plant,
And is the dining room table on the left side of, is the dining room table on the right side in Exhibit 104 in the same position it was in 103?
yes,
Then I'm going to ask permission to republish Exhibit 7 with Exhibit 104, as they both have now been published to the jury.
Granted.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. You renumbered. It was Exhibit 6. So I'm asking permission to republish 6 and 104.
So noted, granted.
Thank you. Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 105 for identification. Could you tell us what that's a photograph of, please?
Yes, this is, got two images on it. One, the top one is of a leg with a tattoo on it, and the lower image was the one that we just looked at.
So they both show the dining room table, is that correct?
Yes,
They both show the dog-like water bowls by the sliding glass door, is that correct?
yes.
What's the difference between what's in the dog bowls in the bottom photograph, 104, and the top photograph, number 6?
There's foliage in the, from the plant hanging above it in the lower image.
But not in Exhibit 6?
Correct.
Sergeant, I'm handing you Exhibit 23. Could you tell us if you recognize what that is?
I do.
What is it?
It is a piece of paper with ink markings on it.
And the ink markings appear to be attempting to depict what kind of object?
A gun,
A handgun, a pistol?
a handgun.
It's marked in evidence, isn't it?
Sheriff's
You know,
Office evidence?
My fault, my fault. I'll ask a different question. It's marked as having been recovered and logged into evidence in your police department, is that correct?
Yes,
By who?
me.
When?
May 1st, 2018.
Who recovered it from 1489 142nd Street?
I did.
When?
April 16th, 2018.
So that was Monday?
April 16th was a Monday, yes.
Who were you there with?
District Attorney Niskas and Deputy Sally Standard.
Do you remember where Exhibit 23 was when you recovered it?
Yes,
Where?
in the hallway leading to the bedrooms.
By Monday, April 16th, were you aware of whether or not it had been photographed in the place where the officers had put it on the 14th?
Yes,
After you found it on the 16th, what did you do with it?
I put it in my folder with the other paperwork I'd accumulated thus far in the case.
As a matter of regular habit and practice, what do you keep in your folder and what purpose does your folder serve for you?
It serves a significant purpose. It's where I keep my notes and documents.
After you got back to the police department, what, if anything, did you do with Exhibit 23?
It stayed in my folder.
How did it come to be that you logged it into evidence on May 1st?
On May 1st, I was going through my folder and the paperwork that I'd accumulated thus far, and I realized that I inadvertently failed to log it in.
Did you then do so?
I did.
Is it in the same or substantially the same condition as when you recovered it?
Yes.
Thanks, Sergeant. No further questions.
Mr. Gray, cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. You testified that when you arrived at the house on the 14th, did you arrive with the state crime lab?
I was in my own vehicle, but we arrived at the same time.
Okay. And did you search the basement area?
Part of it.
What part did you search?
There was a hallway leading to the lower level bedroom, and there were some storage containers in the hallway that I searched.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Did you walk around the living room or anything?
Yes.
You did. Did you testify at the last hearing that you did not search the living room, you searched the hallway?
I didn't search the living room. I was in the living room, but I didn't search anything in there.
All right. Do we have these? Excuse me, Your Honor, we neglected to mark these, so just take a minute.
Thank you.
See that? All right, Coach, Your Honor.
Yes.
Deputy Hart, I'm going to show you exhibits 313, exhibits 314, and exhibits 315. Can you identify those exhibits?
Yes.
And
These,
are they-
Judge, can I approach so I can just take a look at them?
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And again, investigator, if you can identify it by number so we can match up what you're
Got it.
identifying with the exhibit, please.
Are these all photos taken of the basement area of the house you went to with the State Crime Bureau?
yes.
And are these photos of the basement when you searched it?
I searched that hallway that you can see in exhibit 313
Okay,
and 315.
okay. So you searched both of those? Is that right?
I searched this hallway.
And is this another picture of the hallway?
It looks like this is the same exact image in both 313 and 315.
All right, so we'll withdraw 315,
Okay.
and we'll do 314 and 313. And these are true and accurate photos of the hallway you went down and searched?
The hallway's right here. That doesn't show the hallway in 314.
Well, where is the door going down to the basement?
It's on the other side of this. It's to the left up the stairs.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate portrayal of what you saw when you were there that day?
Yes.
And where's the other one? And is this the other exhibit, 314? Is that also a fair and accurate portrayal?
Yes.
Okay. We'd offer 313 and 314.
No objection.
Received, publication granted.
Thank you.
Okay, on 313, Investigator Hart, what you testified to was that the area, I don't have a pointer, but the area where that carpeting is, you see that?
Yes,
Directly from that, going upstairs is where the steps are, going up the steps, correct?
yes,
And would it be fair to say that that carpet, before you go up the steps, is at an angle in disarray?
yes,
And showing you exhibit 314, you can see the photo again of the carpet, correct? See the corner of it?
Yeah, on the left?
Yes.
Yes,
And then the other part of the area in the bottom level, there's chair and tables, correct?
yes,
And they're up against the wall, correct?
it appears as though they are.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna show you 360. Is that a fair and accurate
Yes,
rate of that area?
it is.
Put that on offer, did I offer these guys?
You've offered 313 and 14 so far.
Okay, I'm not offering 316, but I'm not offering 350, but I'm going to offer 316.
Any objection, Mr.
No.
Kaiser? Received, publication granted.
And in that photo, you see again, the table and the chairs up against the wall, correct?
Yes,
So when you went down, we'd offer 360. When you went downstairs, you observed that carpet, correct, at an angle?
I don't recall if I paid attention to the carpet.
Well, you were down there searching for evidence, were you?
Yes,
And when you're looking at that, so you noticed nothing unusual about the carpet not being straight?
I do notice that in this image.
Yeah, and it's not straight, is it?
It's not.
Did you go into the bedroom at all?
I did not.
Were you assigned to search the basement?
No,
Who was assigned to search the basement?
I don't recall.
Anything that you have, I don't have anything that would refresh your memory?
Not that I can think of unless I were to review initial reports from the first responders.
So you were there on the 14th, correct?
Correct.
And you arrived with, or you didn't ride with them, but you arrived there about the same time as the state crime lab?
Correct.
And besides searching that hallway area, what else did you do?
There was a dresser in the master bedroom that I searched, and then I logged in all of the evidence.
Okay, so you were the person that had to log in the evidence when the state crime lab put up those numbers, is that right?
Well, the crime lab numbered what they numbered. We also, the sheriff's office numbered some things, and then other investigators seized the items and brought them to me, and I logged them in.
Okay. And that's an important part of the investigation, logging in the evidence, correct?
Yes,
And the next time you went to house after the 14th was on the 16th?
Yes,
And it's your testimony that the reason you went there was because the district attorney, Mr. Niskis, wanted to go see the house?
correct.
And was that the reason you went there?
I believe so.
And when you went there, you took some pictures, is that right?
Yes.
And what did you take pictures of?
The shirt,
Okay,
some towels that were on the floor.
all right.
There was a laptop.
Did you take any pictures of that piece of paper where it was in the hallway when you were there on the 16th?
I did not.
And when you picked up that piece of paper, you put it in your folder,
Yes,
and you described that piece of paper in your report regarding this visit. I noticed a piece of paper on the floor of the upstairs hallway with what appeared to be ink markings on it. Is that what you wrote?
I believe so.
Okay, good. I read it from your report.
Okay,
Is that what you wrote?
yes,
All right. You didn't describe those ink markings as a gun, correct?
correct.
And would it be fair to say at that time on the 16th, you did not know that that piece of paper was where Sather allegedly found approximately the firearm? Did you know that at that time?
Did I know what?
Did you know that that piece of paper reflected where Sergeant Sather approximately found the firearm?
I had heard officers talking about there being a diagram or a drawing of a firearm in that hallway. I didn't know where Sergeant Sather had located it.
Well, when you picked up that piece of paper, did you believe that that was the piece of paper that was drawn by Coleman and put there by Sather?
Yes,
So you did when you picked it up, right?
yes,
So you knew it was important, correct?
which is why I took it, yes.
Yes, and you didn't take a picture of where it was at?
I
correct?
didn't.
And in fact, when you went back to your office, you kept it in your folder, correct?
I did.
What other pieces of evidence did you seize that day?
Towels, paper towels, a laptop, the shirt,
Logged all those in, correct?
the following day on Tuesday, yes.
Okay. And you did not at that time log in the piece of paper?
Correct.
And how did you, and nobody told you anything about not logging in that paper? As I understand it, you reviewed your paperwork on May 1st and realized you didn't log in that piece of paper.
Correct.
Prior to May 1 and after April 16th, did you hear any more conversation about this piece of paper between the officers or investigators?
I don't remember.
Were you part of this investigation?
I was not the case manager, but I did have a role in the investigation,
Okay, so you were part of the investigation?
yes.
And withdraw that. May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Mr. Kaiser?
The paper towels weren't in your investigative folder, were they?
No,
The laptop wasn't in your investigative folder, was it?
no,
The gray shirt wasn't in your investigative folder, was it?
no,
You logged all those things in.
yes.
Had you recalled that Exhibit 23 was in your folder, would you have logged it in?
Absolutely,
Should you have?
absolutely.
The fact that you didn't, does it change anything about that piece of paper at all?
Object to that, Your Honor, as a
Sustained.
conclusion of the witness.
Sustained.
Argument.
Is Exhibit 23 in the same or substantially the same condition as when you recovered it?
It is.
Did it being in your folder change it at all?
No.
Is there a door to go to the landing level, to the entry level of the home from the basement area?
Not that I recall.
And it's been said that there was some sort of carpet thing
No, it
that's
hasn't been said.
somewhat a bit askew at the bottom of the stairs. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, what if anything was on the floor in what I'm going to call the living area of the lower level? All right? What was on the floor in front of the fireplace in the living area of the lower level?
A segment of carpet?
Was that in any way askew in relation to the fireplace?
No.
What if anything was on shelves along the wall where the fireplace was?
Knickknacks?
Were any of those in any kind of disarray, broken on the floor?
No.
Of any of the furniture that you did see in the basement, did any of it appear to be out of place, knocked over?
No.
In your years as a police officer, have you been to a place where fights have happened?
Object,
Yes.
Your Honor, there's no testimony that there was a fight in the basement.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
With that said, Judge, no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Yes, Your Honor. We ran out of stickers, Your Honor, so I gotta get another. Please, pretty much that. Investigator Hart, I'm going to show you Exhibit 317 and ask you if you can identify that.
Have a bailiff give them to Montgomery.
Is that a fair and accurate portrayal of the basement of, not, I guess it's the lower level, it's called nowadays, of Kayle Fleischauer's residence?
Foundation as to time.
At the time you were there,
I don't recall. This is dated 4/12 of 19.
well, you don't recognize that as Kayle Fleischauer's basement?
It appears to be the basement.
Fair and accurate portrayal too, correct?
Not on April 14th of 2018.
And what was wrong, what was different? This carpeting was in disarray, correct?
Sure, and there was furniture and home decor on the shelves and things of that nature.
Well, I'm going to show you 313, 14, and 16. And we've got a photo up on the wall, which you can't see in that area, correct? In Exhibit 317, correct?
Right, that's a different view.
Yes, I know. And you can't see in 314 that photo either on the view on 317, correct?
Correct.
And on 313, you see the carpeting that was in disarray, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And with respect to that and the other area, that's a fair and accurate portrayal of his basement, correct? With the steps going down, the closet?
Objection to the form of the question. I don't know what with respect to that means.
And again, which exhibit are you looking at now,
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Gray?
317.
Thank you.
It shows Kayle Fleischauer's lower level, correct?
I'll take your word for it. Yes.
Well, you don't recognize that, ma'am?
It looks very similar. That was taken a year later.
We'd offer, Your Honor.
Objection. Relevance.
Thank you. As to foundation at this time, sustained.
Excuse me a minute, Your Honor. Ma'am, it was one more shot here, Your Honor. Ma'am, the 4/12/19 does not, that's when this picture was printed. The picture was taken.
Objection to counsel testifying when the picture was taken.
Sustained.
Okay. With respect to the fact that it was not taken on 4/12/19, I'm just asking you this. If that photo accurately reflects his basement at the time you were down it, except for that carpet.
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled. You can answer that question.
Yes.
Okay, offer 317.
Thank you. Received.
I'm going to show it on here. Now, on 317, the steps going up, those are the steps to the entryway, right?
Yes. Excuse me, yes.
And coming down, you walk into his lower level, correct?
Yes.
And the carpet on this one, on 317, is straight, correct?
Yes.
And we see in the other photos that it's in disarray, correct?
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. You can stand down, Sergeant. Mr. Kaiser, next witness, please.
Are they on it?
I'm going to check and make sure it's Investigator Demling. That's who I expect. But I want to make sure I'm right before I actually call out his name. If that would
Thank
be
you.
okay.
Is it Demling now? Yeah?
We think so.
Can we take a little recess? I thought it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take 5 minutes. Don't form any opinions, any discussion, start your deliberations. We'll be back in at 11. Thank you.